Hey, Home Trees, it's Chris, one of your hosts. Corey, Don, and I are each taking a little mini vacation, so we don't want to leave you hanging, so we're giving you a re-release of Space Dementia, one of our favorite episodes of all time from way back when. It's going to be featuring the film Sphere, Event Horizon, and Pandorum. Honestly, Donnie and Corey reference that movie probably more than any other movie. It was just such a surprise hit for them. And I also enjoyed it too. In the meantime, we're still going to be recording this upcoming weekend. So please call the hotline at 661-489-7323. Listen to the other episodes. Send in some questions, whatever you want. And without further ado, here is Space Dementia. Whichever of our Space Dementia movies is your favorite, we can all agree if there's a fetish for scrolling text on the screen, these movies would be porn. Corey, drop that beat. Welcome to More Gooder Than.
What's up, Home Tree?
What? Marty is stupid.
Boom.
Marty, you moron.
Have a good time. I actually very agree.
1,000 years. Anyways.
We're getting off on tangents. This is up.
Consider that a divorce.
It makes me laugh every time. Hey there, Home Trees, and welcome to More Gooder Than, where we rate and dissect pop culture one episode at a time. I'm your host, Chris Brayton, and I'm joined by my crewmates, Corey Sasso.
Aye, aye, Captain.
And Donnie, the Deep Space Nine car.
Hey.
For those of you joining us for the first time here at MGT, Corey, Donnie, and I each take the three sides of some piece of pop culture and try to sway the world to agree with our opinions on which one is most goodest. And today we have more shower singing, rage orgies, and full-blown mental breakdowns that you could shake a broken spaceship at. You all know we got themes. We're making it rain themes up in here. We got themes in different area codes. We got themes. And today's theme is people losing their freaking minds on space vessels. Space-faring vessels.
Space madness.
Space.
Yeah, vessels capable of space flight.
Yeah.
That's important.
Yeah. Vessels capable of being in space. Yeah.
You'll find out in a moment.
Yeah. We're talking about Event Horizon, Sphere, and Pandorum. It's fun to say sphere. Sphere.
Spherical.
Spherical.
Sphere. It's a good word. It's very round in the mouth, you know.
That's a good mouthfeel, too. Yeah. Sphere. Good thing is there's nothing to sphere but sphere itself.
Spherically speaking.
Yeah, sphere. Almost sounds like
spherical
sphincter.
evidence.
And spherical evidence. Yeah.
I'm spearing clear of these stupid puns.
But anyway, yeah, Event Horizon, Sphere, and Pandorum. Those are the movies. Those are the movies.
Yeah.
We're having a good time.
So we haven't even said the title of the theme yet?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You haven't?
Losing their freaking mind. Yeah.
Oh, but the title.
Yeah, it's Space Dementia.
Oh, okay, I didn't hear you say it.
Yeah, I said at the beginning.
I had space dementia, I'm sorry.
Are you suffering from Pandorum? I am. I'm still suffering from watching Pandorum. So who's back in these movies that show what the opposite of Star Trek would look like? Let's make it so in this corner. Stoney, what one are you backing?
I'm backing Pandorum, and I gotta say, one of these days, I'm gonna get tired of winning all the time.
Corey, what do you got?
This movie was fucking great.
I'm backing Pandorum. You guys make me choose before I've seen the movies, and I'm picking Pandorum.
Hey, once again, I hadn't seen any of these.
Yeah.
And
Which one? Hey, Corey, let's try this again. Which one do you got?
Pandorum. I've been assigned Event Horizon, but I'm choosing Pandorum.
That's right.
Event Horizon was the second best.
Yeah, it was.
And I
We'll get to it. Yeah,
I got sphere. I get sphered right in the sphincter.
I feel sorry for you.
You feel sorry for me? Oh my gosh. This is great. This is weird. I love it.
It is.
Love it. So like the finely sculpted buttocks of Sam Jackson. Let us show you the goods.
It's good.
So let's vivisect Lucius Malfoy in our first quickie with Big D.
Event Horizon, Space Hellraiser featuring Sam Neill as Pinhead.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm so glad that's what you said.
Yeah, I know.
It's like this is Hellraiser, right? Every single time.
There actually was a year prior a space Hellraiser.
Was there really?
Bloodline. It was actually not a bad movie.
So maybe we should have paired that one up. Oh well.
Oh man! If I would have had to watch Hellraiser at the same time,
I think it might have been my fault that we did Event Horizon and Sphere, because I think they were kind of like
I liked
came
Event
out at the same
Horizon.
time.
It wasn't
No,
terrible.
I like the movies, but I'm trying to. When I was watching them back, I was like, are these really that similar? But I mean, they do. They have the space dementia theme
Yeah.
where people go crazy.
Yeah.
Just Sphere doesn't take place in space. We'll get to that when we get to
it
Sphere.
takes.
But
That's why it's like they're all on spacecraft.
Space related.
Exactly.
Yeah, spacecraft. Yeah.
But I just remember watching these two movies around the same time as a teenager and
Oh.
thinking they were very similar.
And bottom of the ocean is basically Earth space.
Exactly. Yeah, no, it's an inhospitable environment that you have to have a completely sealed environment
Yeah.
to survive.
It creates a very similar.
Yeah.
But see, this is,
that's why we call spaceships the Space Navy. Like I remember somebody asked me one time, like, "We think it'd be Navy? It'd be Air Force." No, there's no air.
they're ships.
Yeah, you're basically in a submarine in space. So anyway, sorry. Off on that aside, Event Horizon, 1997. Cool movie.
I actually, on that note, I actually thought when we were watching, like, gosh, these are not going to connect well. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? I know that like Sphere, because like I have not seen any of these movies, and that's why we picked them the way we were. So when I picked my movies,
Yeah.
I picked by cast. I'm like, oh, this cast, like this is killer. Like,
Yeah.
I love all the people in this movie.
Both cast in Event Horizon and Sphere. I think,
Okay,
are
so
great.
let's do Event Horizon. What a crazy good cast this has. This
Yeah.
has so many people that I love.
Young, vibrant Lawrence Fishburne.
Which is funny because Matrix came out like a year later.
And
Yeah.
he was already like really doughy.
He was old. He was an old sage. And then this
Yeah.
one's like, I'm looking at him like, he doesn't have a line on his face. Like, he
Yeah.
is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of that is just makeup and stuff. You
I
know,
guess.
the way they
But
dress them.
Here's the thing. He looked doe-eyed. Like, that's how young he looked.
Yeah.
Like, he had, like, his eyes were bright and shiny like a young yearling.
Yeah,
Like
I
dark
liked him
hair.
as the liked him as the captain of the Lewis and Clark. His like captain's chair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
was so
comfortable.
It was like he needed to like get something that was 5 feet away, and he'd like sit in his chair, rotate, and then he would slide him over there.
And you know what?
It was so flimsy. It was just like kind of.
And
hanging.
Sam Neill later on in the movie turns in the chair of the
Yeah.
Event Horizon,
Oh,
too.
in that scene, there
Yeah.
was a great line, and he's like, "Where we're going, you don't need eyes." I thought, like, wait, is this Back to the Future? Are we going through time?
That's okay. That's I was waiting. Like, what's supposed to be saying where we're going?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I was like hanging on every word, and then he said something different.
oh my gosh. So here's the thing about Lawrence Fishburne in Event Horizon was he hates his second in command more than any other person. Stark.
The woman.
Yeah.
Every time the woman from she's from Nip Tuck and she was in Patriot and she's a really great actress.
Thank you, Encyclopedia Chris.
Yeah. But like anytime she spoke, he was like, what is it, Stark? What? And like literally he said, like she's telling him pertinent information, like he's floating through space and she's trying to save him.
Yeah.
What?
Get off the line.
Get off the line, sir. And she's like giving like good info. And like the second she gets out of hyperspace, like go on the bridge. Do you mind if I put some clothes on first? Yes, in fact, I do mind. Like he speaks to her like she is just the biggest piece of crap. And like all she does is follow his orders.
Yeah.
Do everything, do everything well.
Yeah.
And she's the only one that has like good opinions and like, or good ideas, sorry. And Stark, shut up, Stark, every single time.
She does survive, right?
Her
With
and
lots of trauma.
yeah, her and little baby bear,
And somebody else.
Yeah.
and Cooper.
I like little
Cooper.
pieces of flavor like that, where like they don't even really explain why they called him Baby Bear, but they all did. So it was like this just
Because
a
she
term
was
of
the
endearment.
mama bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard them say Mama Bear, but
doctor,
we don't get any of that backstory. But it's just a little bit of flavor to
They
kind
had
of
a
develop
lot
the
of
characters.
doctors on this ship.
Well, that's who you want to send into space.
I know, but
on a mission like this.
This is funny. They put a lot of work into this movie. While I don't
Yeah.
think it was great, there was a lot of things that were just like, gosh, if you just would have tightened it up. Just,
I feel like
Yeah.
there was a longer director's cut that probably was better. That never saw the light of day.
So-
Because I felt like the whole setup, and this is why I liked this movie when I was younger, was that just the idea that when you go through a wormhole in space, that you're not going to another place in our dimension. You're
Right.
going to some other dimension, some other part in the multiverse. And that was like such a cool concept. And the Event Horizon ship just was pretty badass.
It did look pretty cool.
So there was a lot of
Yeah.
cool visual effects, cool setup and idea. I just
Yeah.
feel like once we're in the third act, it just kind of was rushed and like, let's just wrap this up. We've got to get this out to market.
That's. I think that I actually was doing a little bit of research. That's exactly what happened.
Well,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
They were trying to get. There was another movie that the company was putting out.
They were trying to beat Sphere.
I know, right? But so I had never seen this movie, and here's why. My cousin, the one that we used to have on the theme song, the early theme song about it's British,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, the old theme song.
Yeah.
He saw this movie in the theaters, and it basically destroyed his soul.
It was scary.
And so I'm watching. I'm like, okay, the only thing I really know about this movie is that it destroyed my cousin's soul for years.
He
And
now
so,
has space dementia.
So yeah, he has space dementia.
Pandorum.
He's suffering from the dark one, who for some reason speaks Latin in another dimension. Like Latin's readily available.
It's just creepy, like the whole like Catholic like history of speaking Latin.
It was a
gives
cool.
it like a scary element.
I picture him now like just listening to the podcast while he's putting his Cinnabite fish hooks in his cheeks, like getting ready for work or whatever.
Just totally like
yeah,
like a
Hanging
like,
himself-
like,
yeah.
hanging himself from the ceiling by his scrotum.
like a reaper. He's like a reaper now. We're like you gotta
Yeah.
become. You stare at the madness for too long.
Yeah.
You become the madness
Yeah.
or whatever.
So in an environment like that, do you guys think that like it would be better to embrace the madness?
2 seconds. Let me finish the thing. So, like, he said that he destroyed this movie. Has destroyed his soul.
Yeah.
And so that's what I went and watching it, and I'm watching it like, like, and I think probably
I
what
thought
it
these
was.
movies actually really scare you, Chris. I'm surprised. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, you normally would. You know what it
Yeah.
was? The effects weren't that great. And like Event Horizon, it did not age well. The effects and everything. Obviously, this movie was
Some
supposed
of
to be
it.
in 3D, right? Do you think this movie was because like they had
don't
so many things where like
Oh,
were like
yeah.
floating out in front of you and like
Oh, really?
obviously 3D.
Oh, they should digitally remaster it and put it in 3D. That'd be
But
cool.
that was what it was. Is that the effects were not that great, so I didn't really immerse myself in it.
Well, I don't think I agree with you on the effects. I thought that there was a lot of cool special effects.
Yeah, and I thought
Okay.
it was like genuinely. It had some genuinely creepy moments.
Oh, there was
Yeah.
some disturbing moments for sure. This is definitely the
It's more
scariest.
disturbing and gore.
Yeah. So you made a very apt comparison to Hellraiser, like
Yeah.
for sure. Including
Yeah.
like hooks and people being flayed. and-
any flash you got of the dark zone or whatever, it was basically.
is that what you
Hell?
called it?
I don't
Hell?
know. I don't, yeah.
Dark Zone is worse too. Why would what his name's okay? His name's not Billy. What's the baby bear's name? Patrick. Patrick.
I don't remember.
They all were going by last
No,
names. and
Billy is Sam Neill.
I know. So I watch almost all of our movies with subtitles.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes I can't understand these people for some unknown reason.
Well,
For the subtitles that I had for some reason,
Uh-huh.
all lowercase L's were replaced with lowercase I's. So anytime someone would say Billy, it'd be beer. So like, who's beer? I don't. Oh, it's Billy.
Yeah.
And so
Somebody just hit like find all replace.
yeah, exactly. It's a beer. There was a lot of lowercase L's in this movie because everything was beer.
That's funny.
That's it. No, of course you don't embrace the madness. It's horrible, Corey.
No, I mean if you believe that it's going to end in like some horror or pain, like maybe at some point you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And if it's voluntary, it's a little bit easier to accept. Yeah,
If that's what it takes to survive, then that's what you do.
I think that's what the doctor did. He loved his ship so much that he's just like, I'm just going to embrace this.
No, okay, that was my.
He made that decision before it was a survival thing.
And
Yeah.
he made the decision before he even got there.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's
he's
the
like, I'm
thing.
going to go mad on this ship and I'm just going to kill everybody.
Yeah.
How do you get his eyes back?
Well, how did he come back? He was jettisoned into space.
I know it's so weird because the
So
ship won't let him leave.
That whatever it is that the ship is
ship
can
brought him
manifest.
back, yeah.
And I actually was thinking that maybe he wasn't actually even there. That it was a mind trip that Lawrence
Yeah.
Fishburne was going through.
yeah. So was Lawrence Fishburne the main character of this movie?
I don't know. He didn't survive.
It
so-
felt like Sam Neill was the
Yes.
main character.
This is one of those movies like those.
Yes, Donnie, that's great, man.
This is one of those survival movies, like I think it was called Poseidon, where the ship
Oh,
turned
yeah.
over, where you have like a main character that, or several main characters that are in the movie all the way through, and then they just die at the end, and it's like two like kind of like chorus characters somehow like survive.
Yeah.
This is
That
kind of
is
like how
true.
this one is.
Gosh, yeah, putting that in, put it like that. There, his transition, Sam Neill's transition, Dr. Weir, Billy, B, because too many eyes.
Yeah.
He just like all
think of them as space elves.
Space Elves.
they've been possessed by the dark one. He got possessed. His transition was so weird. Like they say, we're gonna leave. I am home, and then all of a sudden he was the bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was such a jarring, like, just switch.
Yeah.
It's like he's a good guy. He's trying to help everybody. He's trying to fix the ship.
Well,
I'm the dark
I mean,
one.
they set him up a little bit as becoming the antagonist because he constantly was trying to do things that nobody else wanted him to do,
Yeah.
and he wasn't under like orders, so he was constantly defying
Although-
what they wanted.
So Baby Bear gets pulled through and traumatized. He sees the other side.
He actually goes to the other side.
But Sam Neill, I mean, he invented this device. He, in theory, had seen the other side before the ship even launched.
But he was shocked
No,
by
this
it.
this ship actually went missing on the test run.
Yeah, but I mean, still,
Oh, you're saying
He-
that like
he
he,
built the device, like-
conceptualized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
opening up a tear in our space time.
Yeah.
but he didn't really know where it was going to go. This was experimental, so this was the results of the experiment.
Baby Bear was. What would you, if you saw like all of a sudden a gateway of something? Would you reach your hands through? Would you reach your hand through it?
I don't
Baby
know.
Bear,
I'm
like
kind
there's
of
no
curious cats.
and so he's like
yeah.
touching it.
I kinda wanna know.
Like honestly, he was fingering it, and then just like to go dark on it, and then he just, I'm gonna stick my arm through this. Like this is cool.
yeah,
This is dumb.
well, smarter than sticking your face in.
I know, right? Oh,
I mean, I don't. Maybe he didn't understand exactly what it was. He didn't know it was going to be a dimensional portal.
so don't touch it.
But it's some sort of like metal that's liquid. Maybe you wanted to. I'd touch it.
it's
You
still,
would have touched it?
Yeah, touch
There's
it.
no way I would
it's
have touched
still,
it.
it's the core of a spaceship.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
don't touch it. He's got to touch it.
Even if it doesn't go to another dimension, it might be hot. Or
That's what he had to test. He touched it. No, it's not hot. Okay, let me taste it a little bit. It's
So
good.
he was like,
that's
puts
why
his-
you have a tricorder.
puts this
A tricorder.
slowly puts his genitalia
He like looks around,
zip. Basically,
puts junk in it.
he was in Fifth Element. That actor,
Who is
he plays in the scene. Call him back. He's in the scene when Bruce Willis is coming to like negotiate on the Flotsam Paradise, and he's
Okay.
like, and
Is
so
he like
Bruce-
the bellboy or something?
he's like the bellboy. He's in like his like cute little outfit
Yeah.
that he's in. But
That actor he's in something else too that I haven't looked it up.
that was the only thing I think. I'm sure he's in other things. You can do it, Corey. I'm so proud of you. Your
I think
face.
it's something about Mary. Is he the actor that's like, you're getting all crazy on me, man?
Oh, maybe.
You guys seen something about Mary?
I actually
Yeah,
never have.
Not for
He's
a long time, though.
But he's the guy who he's really like a pizza delivery boy or something like that, and he like pretends to be a doctor so he can get close to Mary.
Oh,
I
how
think
funny.
that's the actor.
So there's got to be something
Yeah,
about her, right?
he's just got like a funny looking face.
He does have a weird face, but they call him stupid Baby Bear. The scene when he like gets launched out of the airlock, is that how it would go? I don't understand decompression at all.
I don't think anybody's ever actually experienced it that's come back to tell about it.
I would think the first thing that would happen would like your eyes would freeze.
What I hear is that you can't have air in your lungs because
Uh-huh.
the gas will expand and it'll actually make your lungs explode.
Rupture.
I've heard that there's no atmospheric pressure on your blood, so it'll actually boil out and dissolve.
So he did tell him to expel all the air out of
yeah.
his
And
lungs.
he was doing that the whole.
But I may have all these references from movies like this.
Yeah.
He's
I
just
don't know
screaming.
that
He's just
we've
screaming into
ever
space.
tested that. I don't think we put a
We need
chimpanzee
to-
in space
we
to
need
see
to
what
test
happens to
that.
him. I think it's all theoretical.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. But yeah, your eyes pop out like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So great. Shoot, now every so often I wish we filmed our podcast. Just every so often. Did this movie scare you guys? Were you guys genuinely scared at all?
No, I mean I was like, this is like Hellraiser light.
Okay. Yeah. The only part that was like truly, there was two parts that like truly kind of disturbed me was the rage orgy when they were looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That was a little weird.
Yeah.
And then the scene when Lucius Malfoy is like opened because he was alive when he was opening him
Yeah.
up. So that was like, ugh.
Funny to me, like all the gore and stuff was not scary to me at all. The scarier parts are like when somebody like is walking through the ship by themselves,
Yeah.
or they're walking through a tunnel with razors on the walls. You know,
Right.
like
Yeah,
there's stuff like that that's more like practical and realistic. Like being in a derelict spaceship in space alone, that's more scary.
being in the confined area like that,
Yeah.
that's hard for
Yeah.
me too. Like where like because Sphere actually was one that freaked me out the most because I know at no point are we going to be like hurtling through space on ion drives or whatever.
Yeah.
Like maybe we will. I don't know.
Twin ion drives.
Sorry. Or like
He's not going to get that reference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know what that means.
What is that?
You see, in Star Wars, the TIE fighters,
Yeah, twin ion drives.
yeah, it's spelled T-I-E, except for the I's have been replaced with L's for some reason.
Yes. Beely. We saw boobies in this. There was full frontal nudity in this movie.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, we saw
that?
some. We saw some twig and berries.
His dead wife.
His dead wife.
Oh, yeah, when she was all bloody in the bath. Yeah.
That was not
I don't,
pleasant.
I don't like my boobs bloody.
Pulled a Rita.
What is it?
I said she pulled a Rita.
Pulled a Rita.
It's a Dexter reference.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, but Rita didn't do that to herself. Trinity did that to her.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's just like, wait a second. That's why I didn't register. No, but like that you saw. So you saw Sam Neill's genitalia. That was fun. And then
Oh, when it was all like, when he was like in his Hellraiser,
It
kind
was-
of like, it was all sliced up.
Yeah,
but he was
sliced up.
completely naked. It was like mangled. It was like a weird.
yeah, it was
like,
really
and
weird.
the cod piece was kind of like, it was like fat and bulbous, like cancerous, and then it kind of bent back up.
It was
weird.
really weird.
Yeah.
I don't see any need to go back and amend my favorite penis in Hollywood answer from
Still stands
That
at the
Goodie Bag.
fly.
Yeah.
No, let's get back. Yeah. Oh. Ugh. And then yeah, she was all bloody. That was weird. That was a weird scene. Mm-hmm. Made me really afraid of straight razors again. So, we mentioned straight razors a lot in the show, and is this our first like true horror movie?
Yeah, actually, my wife commented on that. She's like, "So you guys are doing horror movies, huh?" Because I don't think we've done stuffing in nightmares, but they weren't.
No, that was
They weren't straight up horror.
we were
Yes.
saying that they were not horror movies.
They're like comedy horror.
yeah,
comedy,
and
comedy horror is actually the genre.
oh, is that what they called them?
Yeah,
Really? Mm-hmm. I would. I found them in the kids section. So
no,
Mike.
no, not stuffing in nightmares. I'm sorry, I'm thinking
Oh,
of
you're
Ghoulies
thinking
and
The
Gremlins.
Monster Mash.
Oh,
Yeah,
Monster
Monster
Mash.
Mash. Sorry, we're
Yeah.
thinking two different things.
Episode 3. Yeah, Mike.
I got where you were going. Like
Yeah.
I was on the same page.
Yeah, Ghoulies and Critters. Those are just dumb. You know, like this is like trying to be horror. My
Yeah.
kids love these movies. I watched all three. I'm kidding. Yeah, obviously,
I was like, wait. Are we talking about the same thing here?
yeah. Like they were just watching Event Horizon and really got into the idea of like the darkness inside
They
of you.
connected with
and-
that little girl in Pandorum.
oh, the little mutant
Little
baby.
Falmer girl.
Yeah, that's how I thought of them too.
We'll get to there, but I mean,
Yeah.
they were like combinations of Falmer and Reavers from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I like this movie more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah.
There was no humor at all in this movie.
There's no humor in any of these.
Except for Cooper. Cooper, the engineer.
Black guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
The token black guy.
Yeah.
His whole thing.
Even
like,
though there was another black guy in this
He
movie.
survived.
Who was
Survived.
captain?
Yeah.
But this guy played the token. Like,
Yeah.
And he
like
survived.
character.
And
Yeah.
he survived.
Yeah, he got exploded
Iron
out
Man.
into space.
By
and
Iron
then
Manning.
Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't
No,
work.
that was real. He's like on a piece of jetsam that's just
Moving
like
away at such an incredible speed
Yeah.
that he was like miles away within minutes.
It reminded me
seconds.
of The Martian when
Yeah.
Matt Damon, spoiler for Martian, see that movie? It's great. For like,
Yeah.
where like he pierces his hand and like Iron Man's. That's what he says. I'm going to be Iron
Yeah.
Man, and then that's what
Yeah.
Cooper did.
But it was slightly more believable in Martian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say Martian is the
They-
more believable of the
they-
movies. Of these two movies.
They went through the science a little bit more
Yeah.
and explained it. Slightly more.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever said, or you said. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a combo.
Yeah, it's a
give me
combo.
both.
Yeah. Pound down. But I did like this movie more than I thought I was going to.
I would
Yeah.
agree with that sentiment.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I guess I picked it was I had fond memories of it from '97 when it came out. I remember we rented this.
That
and,
explains much.
I think we
That he has
watched it.
fond memories
Like
of
me,
this
my brother,
movie,
and my
yeah.
dad all like were just like really kind of blown away by. I think it was more just like the concept of it,
Mm-hmm.
and so then I remember my dad invited like a friend over to watch it. And, like we watched it a couple times because we were just I don't know
Mm-hmm.
really into it, and so I think that's why it had. But I haven't seen it since then.
Right. Then we had,
Now all the flaying makes sense.
you're a Bolton. Is what you are.
Oh, from
Game of
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
I was thinking, who's the singer Bolton?
Michael Bolton. Yeah,
was
this
the
explains
first person
this,
that went to
this
my
explains
mind.
Michael Bolton, your love of Michael Bolton. So like Event Horizon happened, and like you know what? I need to listen to lots of covers by a super wooden moving guy.
Don't know much, but I know I love you.
Does he do that move?
Isn't that
Does
his song?
That's
when a man
there you go.
skins a woman.
Yes. That's the greatest. Donnie's singing more. I love it. Actually,
That's the first time we've got Donnie to sing.
No, he's saying
Peer pressure.
He sang some Motley Crue when we were giving Kenny a shout out for his
Andy
Patreon.
Chamberlain last time.
Andy Chamberlain. Donnie, you're really
Trying new things.
Yeah, you're really coming out of your
Branching
shell.
out.
Come here. Here, you know what? Nailing it.
Don't patronize.
I'm
me.
not. I'm
Unless
really
it's
proud.
on Patreon.
Yeah. Anyway, support us on Patreon.
Patreon.com/MGT.
And Donnie will sing for you. That's not true. You won't.
Actually, that should be one of the rewards.
Oh my gosh,
Donnie
Donnie.
sings a personal love Instagram or whatever. To
We
them.
put that at
Love them.
$100 a month, and Donnie has to sing.
I can only do.
We'll make $1,000 daily.
There's only one like romantic song that I can do, and it is in Spanish.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
No,
Oh, I got to pay
gotta
for it.
pony up $100.
All right, you heard it, folks. $100. Donnie will sing a love song to you in Espanol.
mi amor.
Maybe I'll learn a little flamenco guitar and play behind you while you
There
sing
you
it.
go.
Yeah, I'll
And
dance.
Chris can go.
I didn't think I was going to laugh this much on Event Horizon in a movie where someone's insides are pulled out through their mouth. Like I'm laughing.
My wife always makes fun of if we listen to the Gypsy Kings. I like do it like that instead of like that.
Yeah, because you got to do it fast.
You kind of got
She's
to spaz like your muscles to go that
She's
fast.
like, that's not how you don't like roll it like.
My father-in-law loves the Gypsy Kings. Like
Yeah?
he just loves. Yeah, so it's funny. They're good.
They're
talented.
They're going to be playing somewhere like accessible. Oh, they're going to be playing in Paso Robles in like September or something.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're really good. They're super talented.
Yeah, we're totally on board for that.
Event Horizon.
Love the Gypsy Kids.
Event Horizon.
Yeah. I think they do the soundtrack on Event Horizon, right?
Yeah.
To bring it back.
Okay, the soundtrack on this movie was horrible. Like it had like this like stupid like techno opening.
It was not super memorable because
Yeah, I don't remember it
I'm
at
drawing
all.
a complete blank.
No, I just watched like, okay, wait a second. I thought this was a horror movie. It's like there you go.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that now because it was a Paul Anderson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And then
remember the opening.
And then
credits
like
now.
it ends with them being rescued. Spoiler. And they, I should never have to say spoiler.
Yeah.
Why am I saying spoiler?
Yeah.
You're
We don't
listening-
do current movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which has been nice.
Although, I mean, 90% of these I have not seen by this point.
That's
so-
true. That is something that has been funny is that like we did this to talk about certain movies and we've kind of talked about all those certain movies except for Big Trouble and never do Big Trouble. I'm kidding.
It's it's like Bob Sacamano, Kramer's friend on Seinfeld. It's just you talk about him a lot, but you never actually see him.
right. Or
We
like
can- we can-
Maris on Friends.
We can
Or
never
on,
do
on Frasier. I mean,
we can never do Big Trouble.
never do. It's too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Norm's wife on Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All those different ones. Those are great. Good
Home
reference.
Improvement. Who was the guy?
Oh,
But you see him, but I mean, you never see his face.
what is it?
And then Ernest. Ernest is always talking to somebody.
Vern.
Yeah.
Vern. Wilson. Wilson is
Wilson is the-
Wilson
yeah.
in,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in Home Improvement.
He does exist. You see just
Yeah.
his eyes, but
That is really funny. Anything else in this movie?
we need to have a fourth cast member that nobody really. He's actually been here the whole time, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, the fourth
Guys, I
member.
want to introduce you to Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
And
Or Harry.
It's Harry.
it's Jerry and Harry.
Stop calling me Jerry.
They're in. He's from Sphere. He's here.
Harry.
Jerry.
That's where the sphere went. When it left, it came here.
Came here.
It's just sitting here.
Yeah. Anyway, everyone
the
give a big, everyone. Please give a big round of applause.
Well, you can't
to
hear him
Jerry here.
speak. I mean, he
Yeah,
types on the laptop.
Yeah, the text pops up on the laptop.
Yeah, that's hilarious, Jerry. You're funny. He made a really funny anecdote.
Jerry,
Are you happy?
You card.
I am happy. Oh.
Wait, are you over there
Segways.
fingering his liquid metal?
That's what it
That's
looked
why
like.
he's
It
happy.
was weird. It was a weird scene. All right. Transition?
Yeah, we can move on.
Well,
Event Horizon, pretty all right.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
a movie that we watched for this podcast.
It happened.
I give it 2 sideways thumbs. That should be something that we
I
give.
do like a 45 degree.
Oh, it's like
angle.
slightly up.
Yeah, maybe not 45.
45. Ugh.
like a half mast.
That's a meh.
Still kind of flaccid little.
So thumbs
little
up is
firm.
great. 45 is meh. Yeah, and then there's indifference.
It's good.
Let's get caught in a shower of squid eggs and sing like Mace Windu and another quickie with Big D.
Sphere. 3 sociopaths commit multiple deep-sea murders, then grant themselves the gift of blissful ignorance and get away scot-free.
The longer the quickies are, taking them into like middlies or whatever, the better. I like it when they take a second.
Yeah.
This movie was bullshit.
Yeah, this movie was garbage.
It was bullshit with potential. Like,
Yeah.
I wanted to like this movie, but something just didn't work.
So when we picked these, I hadn't seen any of them. So like I'm like, and so you got first pick. You picked Event Horizon. I'm like, oh, I got second. Like, oh, I'll take Sphere. Like I'm looking at the cast. Like, yeah. I think Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman, Sharon Stone, and Samuel L. Jackson.
Huey
Like, how
Lewis,
can you fail with the cast?
Huey Lewis and Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like even down to I like Liev Schreiber too. I
Yeah.
think he's a great actor. I love him in things.
Yeah.
And so like I'm looking at it like, yeah, I got this in the back. Oh, Michael Crichton? Hell's yeah. I am like
Yeah.
but I realized something that besides Jurassic Park and kind of even including Jurassic Park, Michael Crichton movies are not good. Have you guys seen Timeline?
No.
Okay,
I don't know what
Timeline.
it's about. I feel like I have.
They can travel back in time and like they're in medieval times.
No, I haven't seen it.
Don't worry about it.
The restaurant or
Yeah.
the actual time
Okay.
period?
Have you been to medieval times and had like dinner there and everything?
I've not been there, but I've been to the same thing at the Excalibur.
Excalibur. Okay, yeah. Have you been to one?
Is it Excalibur?
Yeah. I think they're a blast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you watch jousting, you eat a Cornish game
Yeah.
hen.
So we went. My brother wanted to go to Vegas for his birthday. Tangent. This movie is so bad. I'd rather talk about anything else. I hate that I picked it. I hate this movie. But we went there. We all have kids, so we went. And so like while other people are having fun, like we also did kid friendly things. So Excalibur, my girls loved it. Like they were like cheering and
Huzzah!
we were Team Norway. And so we had the Norwegian night, and it's like, yeah, Norway,
Yeah.
just
It's a cool team to
screaming. Yeah. It was a cool team to have. And then the Knights came over, talked to my daughters afterwards, and sat with them. It was
that's cool.
They loved it. So
Yeah.
I loved it too because I'm having a good munching down on my Cornish game hen.
Yeah.
And you got your like chalice of grog or whatever it is.
Yeah. Mine was Dr. Pepper, but
Was it?
A flagon of pepper for you, my lord.
Lancer. What would they have called like a doctor, like Lance Boyles?
Yeah.
Lancer.
A flagon
so
of leech.
Sphere.
Spherically speaking.
Sphere is a movie, and Huey Lewis is in it, and he flies a chopper.
It isn't great. It's not a great movie.
But
But I actually did enjoy a lot of it. Again, in concept.
Yeah.
Like it had potential.
What weirded me out, and like they are sociopaths. Like the scene where Queen Latifah is getting just destroyed by
when you say,
jellyfish.
this is beautiful. This is, oh my gosh, this is so beautiful.
Well, I mean,
this is so beautiful. I'm not kidding. That is exactly the words that are coming out of that woman's mouth.
she's getting destroyed by jellyfish, and everybody's like, listen to the audio, and they look like they're just waiting for the commercial break to end so their TV show will come back on.
And then the guy, like,
Nobody fucking cares.
No one
That
cares.
was Dustin Hoffman is just sitting in like the mess hall and just listening. No emotion on his face.
Yeah.
But he was maybe in some sort of
But I guess he was the one manifesting
He
those
was.
jellyfish. But still, everybody else, even the sea captain guy, he was.
it's not a lot you can do.
He
though.
was concerned, but I mean,
Hey, get back here.
they got over it.
She
pretty
can't
quick.
see. She keeps saying, "I can't see how to get back there." Yeah, get back here now.
Get back here now.
That's an order.
What I was saying about the Michael Crichton movies, so I've seen a couple different Michael Crichton movies, and even Jurassic Park, the dialogue in Michael Crichton movies is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Like it's like this weird conversational, but it's like you think it'd be conversational, but then it's like that's not how people actually like form words.
Yeah.
Like it's like if an alien was trying to create dialogue. Because like
Well, an alien was trying to create dialogue.
I know.
Or George Lucas.
Yes.
Say,
Michael
like,
Crichton and
that
George
level
Lewis are
bad?
just sitting there just jerking off to bad dialogue and just like, yeah, George. Yeah, Michael. So I think Michael's dead, but rest in peace, Michael Crichton.
Is
but
he?
but yeah, but think about Jurassic Park, certain parts of the dialogue, like we always talk about the Ellie scene.
Yeah.
When she's like, the power's out there. Same thing, like when they do the same thing in this movie. Timeline, they do the same thing. They like words that they're like there's filler. Like they don't actually have to speak, and then they just put dialogue in there for some. Anyway, I don't know. Oh my gosh, Giant squids are cool though. I think giant squids are awesome.
We didn't actually see.
You
the
didn't
giant
see it.
squid.
I was so bummed. Like, please show the giant squid.
You saw it on the amazing radar screen though.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it had like all the tentacles and everything on there. It was ridiculous.
And he called it like a high res scan.
Yeah.
1998 high-res
Yeah.
scan.
No, I'll say there are some things that I liked. Like I liked everything in the beginning. Like even when they were first going in the ship and like
Yes.
because it's a mystery. Like where's
Yes.
the ship from? And then it's
Yeah.
like trash basura, and you're like, what? Like
Yeah.
There were some moments there where you kind of were like, what the hell's going on? And then you kind of figured it out. I like all that stuff.
It's funny because like another thing, like same thing with Event Horizon. If you just would have tightened it up, just
Yeah.
just a little bit more, put a little bit more work into it.
Yeah. Like I said,
like-
I wanted to like
Yeah,
this,
'cause, like,
and I
you're-
just didn't.
And Dustin Hoffman, like spectacular actor.
He was
I think
horrible in it.
no, I thought he did. I thought he did well. There were moments where like I just liked just listening to him speak.
You know what? That's because you like him. Like you want
Probably,
to like
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
But,
was,
like,
he was a little thick in the beginning though.
he
Like
gave
he just
up.
did not get that that there was no plane crash.
Let me talk to the plane crash. Obviously, dude, there's no plane crash. Did you see a plane? You flew in with Huey Lewis, minus the news, and just like you were not getting the news. Like obviously, there's no news there.
I did think it was funny when he
Nice.
was like, "I just bullshitted that report. They were paying me $35
I
grand."
know.
Yeah,
He
that's
gave
funny.
that
Hey,
information
maybe
up
that's the stuff I'm talking about. that I
fast.
like.
Yeah.
Like he gave, hey, I made up the report.
Well,
I-
because he actually cared about everybody. He didn't want them putting themselves into danger, thinking that he had written a legit report.
Yeah.
he's definitely a sociopath. I don't know.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Who survived?
Well,
But you-
because they had gone crazy. They got
And then at
they got
the-
underwater space dementia.
But at the end, they
There is a spaceship in this movie.
Yeah, it is a
That
spaceship.
is what it is.
they suddenly have enough control over the power to make it do what they want,
Mm-hmm.
and what they want is to forget that they're horrible people.
Yep.
Like, okay, well, we killed all those people, but now, now we know how to just make it go away.
well, what would you suggest they do alternatively?
Keep the power and like go back in time and kill Hitler. I don't know. I don't know the levels of their power. Like
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
levels of the power, are like time warping, mind altering.
They should have all died.
Reality.
So they should have killed themselves.
Yeah,
That is what they should have done.
yeah.
I mean, that's what I would kill them.
Like, yeah, they like fucked over
But
everyone,
not knowingly.
but still, after a certain point, yeah, they kind of did.
They don't feel remorse. It doesn't feel like that.
By the time they knew it was only them three left, and then they were all paranoid about each other, and then they finally like teamed up to get out. But
Still, though,
they didn't know that they were killing the
They've
people
got-
until after they were dead.
innocent blood on their hands, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're cool now. Let's just forget about it, and we'll just go back to living our
I don't know.
lives."
I guess
You
I
know
don't
what?
agree. It's a kind of a moral thing. Like if
No.
I give you a button right here and I say push this button.
I would push the button immediately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What you don't know is that button kills 10 people every time you push it.
How, do I get anything from the pressing the button?
If you stop pushing the button after I tell you what it does, okay. Now you're being moral. However many times you pushed that button before, you're not on the hook for it. You didn't know what you were doing. You thought you were pushing a button.
Well, yeah, but you got to push the button.
Exactly, right? You're curious. You want to go
There's-
into the sphere.
But I would not have stuck my hand inside the Event Horizon.
You would have not fingered that sphere.
Well, no, but if there was a button that I had to press, and you just press
Yeah.
the button.
Did you see how happy they looked when they went in the sphere?
I was so happy.
So is the sphere, do you think it's like a benevolent entity, or do you think it's malevolent?
honestly couldn't
like,
care
does,
less.
Does it go somewhere in the universe to try and create chaos and havoc, or is it really, does it have good intentions?
Is it where the Event Horizon went? Into the sphere?
Possibly.
I hope not. One thing we're glossing over real quick: we got to see Samuel L. Jackson's buttocks in this movie, like for just a split second,
Oh.
and they were glorious. Like they were shiny, and like, but it just was like for some reason, like that's what I held on to. It was like, gosh, is that Sam Jackson's butt?
I must have missed that.
Yeah, it was so quick. It's in the shower scene
Oh, okay.
because he showers a lot.
I was awake for all three of these movies.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself.
Yeah. Well, no, but at the way that it was set up, like I would have, they went like, why couldn't it have just been like they're stuck? You know, like the whole thing should have just been that they were stuck down there. They had such a strong plot for it that like you're stuck, alien entity.
I like the whole thing. Like, I know that we don't survive because this ship
Yeah.
still crashed.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and
So-
it was still described as an unknown event or whatever.
But like, why didn't they fix it? They could have fixed it. I understand that then they create a paradox, but like,
Why didn't they imagine that everyone was back alive and nothing had happened?
I know. Yeah. That's yes.
Because here's the big question. The spaceship, how did it get under the sea 300 years before our current time?
Well,
Somebody on that ship must have gone into the sphere and then was like, wouldn't it be scary if we went back in time and crashed on Earth? And then it happens, right?
Yeah.
So you can manifest things like that change time, that alter time. Why couldn't they just say, hey, let's all hold hands and imagine that this never happened?
Yes.
That
would have been a
ending.
very good. And you know what? That would have made for a better movie.
Yeah.
But yes, no arguments here, Corey. Anything you say that's alternate to how this movie worked out, I'm going to agree with.
Any alternate ending would be better than the one they choose.
Would be better than this.
And I agree. My biggest problem when I saw this movie originally was like the ending was just so dissatisfying. It's just not-
Weird. It's just because to me, here's how the movie would have worked out. To me, that would have been better. I understand it's from a book. I get it. So like whatever. But like just the book should have changed then too. It should have just been about the horrors of being encapsulated at the bottom of the ocean with an unknown entity.
Yeah.
That's tell me how great that movie would have been. And that's how the movie started.
Yeah.
That like there was the fear of like having to go underwater. Also, like I know diving is way harder than they make it look. Like they would have had to gone through like months of training.
I wouldn't want to dive.
No.
That freaks me out.
This honest
All that stuff, the science behind the gas though was fairly accurate.
I did
the whole
like-
trimix thing. I like that.
Yes,
yeah.
and that's cool. Like so that's the thing is there was a lot of like cool little things like that. And like Sam Jackson and Leif Schreiber's interaction was funny because they hated each other.
Yeah.
And like there were things like that were like decent. And also when that one girl got crushed by the squid air bunnies, I didn't know there was anyone else on the platform. Did you know there was another character? Exactly, right? I thought it was just Queen Latifah, the captain guy, and then the four
Oh yeah, the
scientists.
gap tooth girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there.
I didn't know there was another person. Like
Man.
I was paying attention.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat those squid eggs.
They looked kind of tasty.
Right?
Yeah, there was a lot of them too. Just raining.
Do squids just like spontaneously like spawn when they're trying to attack something? Like is that like
Obviously, Sam
functions that happen
Jackson thought
sometimes?
so. So
I know I do.
yeah,
Like, it's like fight or flight, and you go into attack mode and you just start spewing eggs everywhere.
yeah, it's like peeing.
Yeah,
It
they do ink.
Yeah,
don't they?
that's the thing.
Yeah,
So it should have
they
been
do
ink, and it should have gotten really dark.
Well, I
That
mean,
would
like,
actually scarier, I think,
Yeah.
than the eggs.
Oh, the ink. Oh my gosh.
If you're walking underwater and all of a sudden it's getting darker and darker and you can't see to get back, that would have been way scarier than eggs.
I
Yes.
think
God damn it, let's go back and rewrite this movie.
Yeah. let's do this
the
movie.
giant squid was like sending out its little minion, its spawn emissaries to herald its coming.
Go before me, children. and
Make
speak
my
of
presence
doom.
known.
If the squid would have been, there were so many squid pictures at the beginning. I hated the opening credit sequences. It actually made me nauseous to look at it because there was just pictures of squids over and over and over.
Oh, yeah.
And then everything was like swirling like a sphere, and oh my gosh. Oh, anyway. This movie's the best because I am picking it. I forgot to say, oh yeah, this movie's the best.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I think a little honesty with our
you gotta be
home
honest.
trees is important.
You know what? It's a relationship.
There's a clear winner in this series.
Yeah.
And I
It's-
almost feel like maybe that was our fault. Maybe we shouldn't have
It's nobody that
paired-
invested in these movies.
maybe we shouldn't have paired a movie that's a decade newer and just had a better concept.
That's
Well,
not.
these older
But
ones.
the thing is
That
that
didn't work with Mountain Go Boom.
yeah, that doesn't work. That works.
Dante's
usually
Peak kicked
opposite.
the shit out of Pompeii.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
No, I mean there were likable elements in this movie, but just as a whole, I couldn't get
Yeah.
on board with
Didn't
it.
quite come together.
That's honestly
Yeah.
what all three of these movies were to me. It's like cool idea
Well, in one case, you're dead wrong.
that didn't work.
Pandorum was a great movie.
Do we want to talk about Sphere anymore? I don't really want to talk about Sphere
I
anymore.
don't.
Do you want to talk about the helium scene?
That actually was
I have that clip if we want to play that.
Sure.
Yeah, let's play it.
We have clips.
I have a clip.
Yeah.
Like when I go through and I make my notes, like I just write clip helium scene. But that was
The only other clip
one
I
that
wanted to
had.
send was if they had a supercut of Lawrence Fishburne yelling at Stark from Event Horizon. Stark!
Well, here's what we'll do. I'll find it and insert it there. Back in the movie.
Okay.
And so now, guys, you know that we're referencing what we did 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. But anyways, here's this other clip.
All right, we're going to pressurize you now. I know it's hot in there, but you're going to feel coolness. That's the helium. Helium? I'm the only one paying attention.
Oxygen is a close gas in the same family as fluorine and chlorine. Hydrochloric acid, hydrochloric
Sorry, it's just
acid.
always funny.
I wonder if it was actually them doing a helium voice or if it was in post.
Are the 2.3 becomes toxic.
I don't know.
You run that
Yeah, it's a good
fine
question.
line.
Fun to do it practically.
I'd watch that making of that scene more than I'd watch this movie again.
Oh, that's my voice. You see, the helium resonates differently with my vocal cords. I love a yellow brick road.
They're all like brilliant doctors.
Right.
As if he had to explain that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, helium messes with your voice. Yeah, I knew that when I
They
was
were like
3.
They got like 3 PhDs from like MIT at age 17. And what's this helium? What does it do?
What does helium do to my voice? Yeah. Why did they go to like a clinical psychologist to do what it would be like? Why did the military
The team
go?
didn't make sense.
The whole team just did not make sense. I
the
know it was-
mathematician, the astrophysicist, yes.
Yes.
What did Sharon Stone do?
She was a
Biologist?
Biologist.
Biologist, yes.
Uh-huh.
The psychologist? Well, I guess you gotta communicate with a being that may not be able to vocalize.
Well, plus, I mean, we already know going into a situation like that like space madness is a thing. You probably do want to have a
all right.
psychologist.
All right. I
there.
buy the team. What I don't buy is how unattractive Sharon Stone was in this movie. 'Cause she's a beautiful woman.
For so you just it wasn't doing it for you.
No. She looked rough.
How funny.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you look at Sharon Stone today, gorgeous. Look at Sharon Stone, obviously, like in Basic Instinct, gorgeous. 97 was
Sphere
not.
is-
The 90s were not her decade.
you know what it is? You need good, solid content for her to be attractive to you. I guess.
Maybe it was the plot. That's what made her.
My
ugly.
biggest thing is like, there's no way that Dustin Hoffman could ever attract someone like that. He's a small,
Well,
tiny little man.
the way she's in this movie. Yeah,
She was
he's
also
attractive.
playing a scientist, though, not like a femme fatale or whatever.
So you don't
else
like
she
smart
plays.
women, Corey?
No, I love smart.
I know.
Not true.
Yeah, I know. It's like,
No, they just made her. It's not even the boy cut, but it's just.
oh, I dig. I
They
dig the
did
short
something
hair.
like to her
My
skin.
wife has short hair.
They
so
actually did
I-
some makeup to make her skin look like it was like, I don't know.
Well, they put
like
a
she
they
like she
did-
had been
they
like using a
gave
lot
her
of
makeup
drugs
to
and
look
using a
like
lot
she
of.
wasn't wearing makeup.
Maybe that's what it was.
You have to work really hard.
There's not a Mac counter at 1,000 feet below this. sea
That's
level.
true. That's true. All right, my bad.
Back counter. Oh man, Segway.
All right. It's good.
Let's slough off some dead skin with another quickie with Big D.
Pandorum. Dennis Quaid rocks a sweet beard as Corporal Ahab. I liked this movie a lot.
So did I.
I really
I did
enjoyed
actually
this
like
movie.
this
It's just
movie
the
more
hands down winner
Yeah,
of this one.
it's hard to say. I think that they created a nice horror sense about it too. I actually almost wish they didn't have the what are the mutants? Just mutants, right? That's all they call them, right?
Falmer.
Falmer, yeah, sorry.
For those of you who don't know, the Falmer are not dark elves. So the dark elves.
No, they were like
in Elder
light,
Scrolls.
they were like sun elves.
They were snow elves that they were forced into caves, and so
Yeah.
for hundreds or thousands of years, they evolved to low light conditions.
Yeah, they
So
have no
kinda-
eyes.
they're
Is that
kinda
is that a
mad.
true story?
True
That's
story.
an absolute true story.
Okay.
In the fictional world of Elder Scrolls.
It's in the Bible. It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Read the Bible.
Skyrim.
Chris.
Read the Bible.
I know. My wife and I were talking about this after we watched this one last. We watched it last night.
Did she watch all of them with you?
Yes, and she's like, that was
Okay.
the best movie of history.
Yeah,
I said, I
it
agree
is.
totally. And I was trying to pinpoint why. It felt original. Like, I haven't had an experience watching a movie like that in a long time where it just felt really like shiny and new. And like, I have not seen this story before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't agree more. It was a really good movie. I liked
Yeah.
all the elements. There was horror. There was sci-fi space stuff. Like it was really cool. I like the ending too. The ending was pretty cool.
Yeah. it
Were
was-
there was some screen on this. There was some text on that screen. So much text on the screen for these movies.
Yeah.
Text on the screen.
Yeah.
My biggest gripe about Sphere. Got to go back for a second. Rewind. I hated how the way the whole movie was edited together.
Yes,
That's what I hated
it's
about it.
horrible.
It felt awful
And then the
because
screen comes.
it was so
text
jarring.
on
And
the
then they
screen.
give
The
like a
monster.
title for each
The
one.
Deep.
Yeah,
But it was
the Deep.
every 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like
The Sphere.
it was so annoying. I don't need that. I'm not
The
they were
end.
trying to make it feel like a chapter book.
Yes.
Chapter
Yes.
book sounds like a kid's book, but
It is a book with pictures. This book has pictures.
I do think that novels are that's something that novels need is good artwork.
Oh, you need to read the Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson.
The Stormlight Archive,
Yeah, Stormlight Archive. It's a couple different books. It's fantastic.
and
But
they illustrate it.
every so often they'll put one of the characters is an artist, and
We're so off on it.
but one of the characters in the movie is so it's her sketchbook.
Okay.
And her sketching things in the world, and it's wonderful.
That's cool.
It's a fantastic book, and then every so often there'll be pictures.
I
It's
like that. I actually would
and
like.
it's nice.
I might pick that series up
Yeah,
because
it's
one of my
very good.
I want to read. You know, sometimes, and I always think of like, oh, I'll pick up a graphic novel. My problem is with graphic novels is they're comic books. That's just a fancy
Yeah.
word for it.
And you could knock it out in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wish there was something where it was an actual novel, just regular on a page, all the lines written out like you normally would be, and then like every so often you've got the artist concept of what is going on.
And
I
that's
love that.
exactly, it's a great idea, and that's
Star-
exactly
what was it, Star-
I own
Send it
it.
to me.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I own it.
Brandon
I'll give it.
Sanderson is a solid
Yeah, he's a great
author, too.
Great author. He's one of my faves.
Okay, so we were off on like tangent after
Pandorum.
tangent after tangent.
It
So
freaked me out when he's pulling the dead skin off. That was such
was it
good.
dead skin? Me and
Yeah.
April were trying to figure that out.
Yeah, it's that their because your body sheds skin.
You can't
Yeah.
slough off the skin.
And so he's stuck in hype, but his skin was constantly regenerating.
I figured you would be freaking out the most when he's crawling through that
The
tubes.
tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah. that-
because he says I'm stuck, I can't move. I'm like,
When he was at an
I'm
angle?
out of here.
Yeah.
He would have been dead when he hit the
well,
ground.
obviously, like the other guy that hit
Yeah.
there, he just
Cooper?
somehow maybe had his arm in a different position. But
I don't know, but when
That-
he was stuck, I'm like, yeah, I would have broke my own neck. Just like I'm done.
as you were at the angle, you're like trying to make yourself like
Yeah.
be more sleek so you can go down faster just to hit your head
I
hard
had to
enough.
try and kill. Oh, I would have tried to kill myself many, many times in this movie. Like
Yeah.
there's certain
Oh,
parts.
if that lieutenant told me get up in that tight, cramped space, I'd been like, nope.
Nope,
Not doing it.
You,
Like-
you take over Peyton slash.
I'm not-
slash Gallo.
But
I'm not
they all-
claustrophobic except for situations like that where like I cannot move my arms around if they're in a position that I don't like.
But
But
that's one of the things-
they're
oh,
almost
go
conditioned though. Like I mean, he's the engineer. Like they almost condition them so that they don't forget that information. So
Yeah.
like he's conditioned to crawl through that tube and do what he needs to do.
Mm-hmm. The whole concept of hypersleep, which they do that in Event Horizon, or
In almost every space travel.
yeah, I like the idea of hypersleep. I think it's cool. I like the idea that they have to rotate constantly to keep themselves. You know,
all that was cool.
that
The
was
mechanics of
cool.
that.
Like the whole thing about it is just cool, and populating a foreign planet is
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So
to me
it
too.
was a generation ship, right?
I love
so
generation ships.
Were they supposed to wake up and mate to create the next
Yes.
generation of crew?
No, they were all in hypersleep.
But see, hypersleep is different than like a cryogenic freeze.
They did 2-year shifts, and then
Yeah.
how long was it supposed to take to get there?
So are they suggesting the
120
hypersleep prevents you
123
from
years.
aging?
Yes. Yes.
Just so emphatically.
no,
yes.
yeah. The
Absolutely.
hypersleep.
Like cryogenically freezing would prevent any
Yeah.
cell division, so yeah, you're not going to age. But
Mm-hmm.
but hypersleep to me is more just like a deep unconsciousness
No, this one to
because
me.
the skin is still growing.
Yeah, but like they're not aging because obviously they don't age.
Because the plot calls for it, Corey.
No, I'm just yeah. If you take obviously I don't understand the science of hypersleep, but if you take
Nobody does.
If you take because then we would have it. But no, but like in the logic of the world, this hypersleep keeps you from aging.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, yes.
Yes.
I know that, but I was having more of a
Oh.
discussion with you guys, like the difference between like a cryogenic freeze versus a hypersleep. Hypersleep isn't going to get you through 123 years of space travel. It might get you through 6 months, a year of space travel. You're going to age that year. Plus, then you get taken into like special relativity. Like
Yeah.
if you're traveling at the speed of light, like you're going
Which
to
they weren't-
age
they weren't traveling
slower
at the
than
speed of
everybody
light,
else.
I don't know.
They
I
have
feel
to.
like there's a
They
lot
have
more to talk
travel.
about than hypersleep, but I loved when he sloughed off his skin.
like
that was
that
gross.
awesome laser razor.
Yeah, I wanted that.
Yeah.
so bad. He has a razor. It looks
How
just like a
easily could you make a
stupid
mistake though? Like anybody who has a beard knows that you're trying to keep your lines straight, and it's like just your hand would never be steady enough for a laser razor. No, you
obviously doesn't hurt his. Obviously
Yeah.
doesn't hurt
I'll
his
shut up
face.
now.
I like burns the hair
Shut
off
up,
at the
Corey.
follicle. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I could do my whole head in like.
No, I'm talking about your
2
lines
minutes.
though. You if you just slightly tweaked, you would mess up your lines on your beard. Or
Yeah, then your face
I-
grows back. I mean, your hair grows back.
Obviously, yes.
One of the it's so funny whenever I see Ben Foster, who's Bauer, the actor. My wife loves that guy. He was on like an old like teenage show on like Disney Channel, like where it wasn't like he wasn't like a Mouseketeer or something like that, but like, he was on something like that. And anytime he's on screen, my wife's face perks up. She loves this guy. She actually didn't watch this movie with me, which I wish she did. No, actually, no. Strike that. It would have freaked her out. Never mind. I'm glad she didn't watch this movie.
But it
with me.
was a good movie.
There was some good parts to it. I wish they could have tightened it up. Same thing. Like I think that there
How
was.
so?
It was an hour and 40 minutes. It
Yeah,
wasn't like
I thought it was a good time. I liked.
Blissfully the shortest movie, thank God.
Yeah.
So,
No,
like,
Event Horizon was the shortest.
was it really?
Mine was only
Sphere was like 4 hours long.
My Event Horizon was like an hour 30 or an hour 35, and
Was it?
this was like 10
Sounds
minutes
right for me.
longer.
Yeah.
Was it? Okay, I
I
believe
don't
you.
think I'd really cut anything out of this movie. I liked
cutting
the
anything.
warriors that with their little like blades and stuff. That was a cool element. Obviously, I liked the.
It felt there were certain things
The
that I would have
Vietnamese
changed.
ag guy.
I did like him. Yeah.
Yeah,
His name
the
was
crazy
Mon.
guy.
It was
I mean,
M-A-N-H.
they should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
yeah.
But obviously, don't drink whatever the tea he's given you.
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
his food.
Okay, that's though. There were certain stylistic choices I would have. They went all like Mad Max with those people. Like we're all of a sudden like they're like she went feral in 5 months. Like he's been only been like they went like
She's not feral. She still was
I
very.
understand, but like went like
Cogent.
full Resident Evil like
She had to
killer.
survive.
Yeah, got to survive.
I understand, but she was only in. It's not like she was there for years.
Yeah, but
She
when
said,
you're
how
in
long
a-
have you been awake? 4 months.
Yeah, but when you're in a high stress environment like that, like it's as if time is longer than it really is. So I mean,
guess
you make
so.
a lot of decisions.
But
in a
then
very
that
short amount of
character,
time.
the Leland, is that the name of the cook?
I don't
whatever.
know what his actual name
Yeah, I
was.
think it was the cook guy. That character bothered the heck out of me.
Leland, yeah,
Yeah, Leland. Okay, cool. Yeah, I remembered something from the movie.
yeah.
I didn't like that whole. I didn't like it. It just felt dumb because like there were a lot of cool. I wish they would have just kept it space and as opposed to like Mad Max.
But somebody had to tell the story.
I know.
Yeah.
Get the learning in.
Yeah.
The learning and the knowing.
I'm gonna very disagree with you.
Okay.
I liked the Leland character, like the whole idea of somebody just finds like a little hole to kind of like secure, and then they just save themselves and they come out every once in a while to scavenge for stuff.
Yeah, because of
I
course
could have used
somebody's going
more.
to do that.
Yeah, I could have used maybe more of that, more characters that they kind of came across, maybe a little less of the kind of crazy beasts that were running around.
Yeah.
Because the crazy beasts to me seemed like they were the main antagonist, and they were so strong that it wasn't as believable that they could fight them off and run from them as much. I mean, these things have
that's what I'm talking
adapted
about, yeah.
to be as
Yeah.
fast as possible in this environment. These people who just woke up, who are weak from hypersleep, couldn't outrun them.
It took all three of them to take that one
Yeah,
down.
that actually that was a good scene. Mine whole one of the things it's just like the when they talk about Eden and like they're like, oh, why'd you have to remind me of the worst? There were just certain dialogue things when like he brings up Eden.
Yeah.
Like, oh, why'd you bring that up?
Remind me, I'm not.
It's the very beginning of the movie, and like they just every time they'll just
He brings up like the previous worst space disaster.
Yeah.
Oh,
ever.
because they had to
When
establish
when that guy launched everyone
jettisoning
out.
all the.
Yeah. But
Which
they were
was
just
terrifying. Like the guy,
Yeah.
people are conscious in their pods, just
Yeah.
screaming through space.
oh, and
Yeah.
it is
One of the
that's-
worst deaths that you can
And so
possibly
and like
experience.
that's cool, but then like the setup is just like really like ham-fisted. There were just a lot
Yeah.
of things that were just what this movie needed. It needed finesse.
I don't know, but I like that they had to tell that story.
They did
because
have to
that
tell the
was like
story.
the cautionary tale, which they
Yeah.
specifically said it was a cautionary tale. So that way, they would never do
Procures
that.
boys, it's a cautionary tale.
So that way they would never do that. When in reality, that was the one thing that would have revealed that we're not in space. We're underwater. We're
Yeah.
800 years overdue. We're already on
Yeah.
Tanis. So it was like it was
It's not even
something.
Tanis. They say
Tanis.
Tanis.
It bothered me every time. Just say Tanis. Please say Tanis.
Yeah.
Nope, Tanis.
I hope that they make a part 2, and then like
It's
there's
in-
some worst beast on Tanis that we didn't know about.
Yeah,
That's worse than the
it's
Palmer.
and
everybody's trying to get back into the ship.
it's just a super bloated Dennis Quaid.
Also, some of those things are going to get into one of those escape pods before it jettisons, and they're going to be free off in this world.
Maybe. Well, they all launched at once, and I mean, those things don't know. I don't think they were cognizant enough of ship mechanics to.
Well, they knew
get
they
into
knew
one of those.
that they knew how to tell when one was going to open up because they all would go to that hunting grounds, and
Oh,
I felt
yeah.
so
so
they
bad
kind
for
of
that
didn't
guy.
understand the mechanics.
Yeah.
The guy that just
Could you
wakes
imagine?
up. Oh my God.
It's already a traumatic experience coming out of the hypersleep, and then all of a sudden your guts are being ripped out from underneath you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite.
I actually was surprised at the mercy kill into the back of the neck by that one thing on top with the spear.
yeah.
Yeah.
The whole concept of it, like just devolving into like this like tribal warfare game in the cargo hold was crazy. Like that, like it's scary. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like it's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's horrible beyond all reason. But you
Yeah.
know,
So Mon is like the he's like the kind of Asian guy who
Yeah,
can
it's a
speak
hacker.
English,
Yeah,
and
okay.
he fought one-on-one
Okay.
against one of those things.
2 seconds.
He's Vietnamese.
I hated that scene when he's like trying. I hate scenes when people like are talking in a different language and you just repeat yourself. I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what you're saying. I'm part of the flight crew. I'm part of the flight crew. Like, shut up. He doesn't understand you. Just use nonverbal communication. You can't. I hate scenes when people just keep repeating themselves over and over and over again where they don't speak the same language. It's not going to work. It's not going to click.
I know, but it's because it's a movie.
I know.
Like,
I hate that.
non-verbal gestures don't really work that well on screen.
Yes, they do. It's in a podcast. They wouldn't. Like if I'm like flipping you off, no one's going to get that I'm flipping you off. Like it's all verbal on a podcast.
I don't understand. I don't understand what
I
you're
don't
doing.
understand
with
what
your
you
hand.
do.
Yeah.
But anyway, but he was emoting pretty good on that scene. It's just like stop. I just don't like those type of scenes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so the scene I was getting to was that he does fight one-on-one with one of those things and prevails, and then the little girl's just sitting there all cute with her big black eyes, and then he falls for it. What a dumbass!
Yeah, it's pretty stupid.
Just slices his neck right open.
There is something to be said though that they killed all of them because they were a new sentient life form. Whether they were
Sort of. I mean, they were mutants from some like additive in the.
it was. They called it the girl called it an accelerant.
Yeah.
That, like it was a but like they were humans.
Which accelerated their evolution.
To be able to be as strong as possible in the environment that they were going to be.
Yeah.
So like Bauer and the other people, they're going to eventually evolve into something different soon too.
Well, they're going to be on Tanis though, so they're going to evolve to adapt
Well,
to Tanis.
realistically, they're all going to die
Tanis.
because there's allergens and illnesses on that planet that their immune system is just not.
And that's
capable
what the
of-
accelerant.
that's where the accelerant
That's
probably
where
will
the
help.
accelerant comes
Yeah.
in. It's supposed to help them adapt as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Which means at some point they could have horns growing out their back or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was I going to say?
I don't know. We were talking about the mutants though. Evolution.
That the fact that they kill all of them while they are
All the humans?
all of the when they kill all of the mutants at the end of the movie by flooding everything and like
Okay.
I'm not saying that like yes you have to kill the monsters, but like those were humans and that was a new life form and they just wiped out an entirely new
Yeah,
life
but it
form.
wasn't a new life
Yeah.
form that you could reason with or
I understand.
Yeah,
have
I'm just
treaties
saying,
with.
Yeah, I know.
And
I'm
I
just-
mean, you go back to like our history as like Homo sapiens. We probably slaughtered all the Neanderthals. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean?
every time
we
you
were
don't
two
do
different
the
species.
TH, I know that it's the right way to say it. This goes back to like episode 2 or episode 1. Still drives me nuts.
Anyway, so we slaughtered off all the other creatures that were kind of like us because we wanted to rule the planet.
When you talk all sciencey like that, I get Homo erectus.
Does it?
Yeah.
the Neanderthals, the Cro-Magnon.
Yeah. What episode was that from?
I don't know.
It was early,
Neanderthal
though.
was episode 2. It
Was it episode
Back to the
1?
Future.
Oh,
We were
man.
talking about Biff being a Neanderthal.
Oh, Biff. The movie was good. It was a good movie.
It was, yeah.
We did our first horror movies, quote unquote.
It actually wasn't available to rent digitally, so I had to buy it.
And you don't
Oh, you
regret
own
this,
it now?
You don't
Yeah.
regret it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy to
This
own
one
this
really
one.
did kind of get swept under the rug,
Yeah.
stuck under the radar. Like, I don't really hear anybody ever reference this movie or
No,
talk about it.
I
had forgotten about it until I did research for what's going to match Sphere and Event Horizon.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, Pandorum.
2 weeks ago when you guys assigned this one to me, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, I've only heard of this.
Clear
I've
winner.
only been aware
Well,
of this
let's-
movie for 2
So
weeks
let's see
today.
what the Twitter poll pulls out.
Yeah.
For it.
So
I'm very curious.
The podcast was a success because we exposed Donnie to something that he didn't know he loved. And now he does.
Go Team MGT.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Giggity. Yeah, I think Pandorum is the clear winner here.
I gotta pee so bad. I'm sorry. We're wrapping it up.
We were wrapping it up.
We were wrapping it up.
I was making my final statement there. All right. It's good. It's good.
Still got your eyeballs and bones intact? Good. Only the strong deserve to hear objectively gooder. All right. So you want to do money makers first, or you want to do? We're gonna have a good old time on this one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's.
Has anybody ever gone back and given us feedback on
Nope.
on our scores?
We get so much interaction And
Nobody wants to do work.
Nobody wants to do the only thing that
we don't want to do work.
specifically asked for, no one's done. But anyway, we'll get there. Last time I did try and go back. I got up to episode 7.
We still have 2 copies of Star Trek.
I know, I know.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that's true. We could pay somebody to do it. And it's not like going back and listening to our episodes is horrible. Like I still laugh at them. It's not like I am a fan of our show. I'm a fan of you guys, and sometimes I'm a fan of myself. A little self-love right there.
Just when Elisa's gone, she got the girls. She's kind of home alone. You're a big fan of yourself.
Big fan. Big fan. Okay, let's do Rotten Tomato scores.
All right.
Okay. Do first, second, third.
I'm not going to do this because when
you look
I looked up Pandorum just to see what it was because I never heard of it.
Free points for me.
Score was right there, and it was at the time I didn't think much of it, but knowing what it is after I've seen it, it is bullshit. Mm-hmm. So I like.
Okay, let's we'll do our first solo round.
I think it's
of this.
pretty easy though. Yeah, I think it's Pandorum top, then Event Horizon, then Sphere.
Boom.
With a possible tie. No, okay.
You totally
Shout
nailed
out, Corey.
it. Pandorum's 28%.
Yeah.
Event Horizon is 24%. And with our least rated movie besides Ghoulies, because I just didn't have a rating.
At a 0.
At a 0. Sphere at 12%.
Okay. Not surprised at Sphere at 12%, but I am surprised at Pandorum at 28. Nobody knows about this movie.
I call bullshit on that.
You that's your biggest
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Man.
I think that should be our new cause.
I think it
tell
should
the
be
world
in
about
50s.
Pandorum.
It should have been in the high 40s.
This should be fresh.
You think this should be in
I
the
think it should be
60s and
fresh.
70s?
Like 70 or...
I can't think of what is wrong with this. So
Yeah.
does Rotten Tomatoes, do they have like actual commentary? Like people say why rate it this?
You can, but I don't feel
I'm
like
going to
doing
look that up afterwards.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, nailed
Thanks
it.
for permission.
Yeah.
He's like, you go ahead and do
Corey,
that.
I allow you
Thank you.
to come out of the bunker, because Corey lives in the bunker like
Just
one of the mutants.
Mashing keys all day long. Just,
Like one of the mutants. He's slowly turning into a mutant. I've adapted
I
to
just
this to the
crawl back
bunker.
up into the rafters with the cables and stuff.
After watching the
connect.
movie and then remembering that I saw that it was a 28, I'm like, I'm boycotting this process on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And money's who's made the money?
So money, but see, here's the thing: is those big names are going to draw in people to the theater.
And we already know
I
that
think,
nobody saw Pandorum.
Exactly. So I think that's actually the bottom. Pandorum is.
Okay, so Pandorum's 3, you're saying?
I think Pandorum's 3,
Okay.
and then I'm going to go. Maybe Sphere top, Event Horizon middle,
That's what I would have picked, but I'm going to go Event Horizon, Sphere, Pandorum.
just to mix it up.
Yes!
That way.
Oh, I'm on
Nailed
fire
it. Yeah.
today.
3 in a row. Yeah.
Yeah.
50 million for Sphere, 47 million for Event Horizon, 29 million on Pandorum. Now here's the thing: their budgets. Which here's the thing: their budgets were actually lower than I thought they would be, because there was a lot of set design in these movies,
Yeah.
especially Event Horizon and Pandorum. There was a lot that they had to do.
Yeah,
Sphere,
they were in that same habitat.
they're in the same
Yeah.
habitat over and
Yeah.
over and over again, and so. But anyway, so Event Horizon was 47 million on a 60 million budget. They did a lot with that 60 million.
That was Sphere.
That was Event Horizon.
Event Horizon. So they lost money.
And then Sphere, they all lost money. Sphere was 50 million on an 80 million budget. So Sphere had actually the highest budget.
Yeah.
And it made 50 million. And then Pandorum, and this isn't today, this is a fairly recent movie, only 33 million for the movie. It's a pretty cheap movie.
And what was
All
the
that's
29?
29 million, yeah.
So that's going to make a profit.
Eventually.
I did look
it
it up.
probably already has.
It has, after DVD sales and after, of course, this podcast gets the word out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as this drops, like
Yeah.
those sales are going through the roof.
Yeah.
They're gonna get like tens of dollars. Well, they heard it. You bought it, so they got $3.99 off of you.
There's
or
some,
however
yeah.
much. Yeah.
Some analyst sitting somewhere like, wait, sir, we just had a sale of Pandorum. We need to do a re-release. So it's gonna get things going.
I bought it and it was like $8. It
Ooh.
wasn't even very expensive to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. no,
Criminal.
I'm really disappointed. It's sad to me that none of the all three of these movies. It's sad to me that none of them made money, because that tells Hollywood that, like, okay, people don't want movies
Cerebral.
that they don't want movies that have this kind of like concept, cerebral.
Or people don't want to see something new.
Yeah, yeah. They just want the same thing over and over again because they feel more comfortable with it. So that kind of bugs me that nobody in Hollywood is coming up with creative sci-fi genre movies.
Yeah. No, I see. It is. You know what it is? It's travesty.
It is. Let's have a moment of silence for.
Yeah, that's always
Space
what people,
dementia.
that's always what people want on a podcast is a moment of silence.
Yeah. Pour out your smart water for my homie Pandorum.
Just a smidge. Smart water. I gotta keep my mouth moist. Moist. Ugh, such a gross word.
It's good.
We don't declare each other winner here at MGT. That's for you home trees and Jerry to figure out. But we do think someone should win and lose, so it's time for gooder, badder, fugly. I'm going to go first on this one.
Cool, yeah.
Just because I want to.
Do it. You should.
So the winner is whoever killed the NASA space shuttle program. They're saving us from an obviously horrible fate.
Good. I like
So
it.
there's don't go out into space. So that's the winner. Whoever doesn't like space is the winner in this one. What about you, Gore?
Mine is a three-way tie between Dr. William Weir from Event Horizon.
Beely?
Yeah, Dr. Harry Adams from Sphere and Lieutenant Peyton / Corporal Gallows. So maybe four. Maybe it's a four-way tie.
They
Three-way tie.
win?
They win.
They all died.
They all got to be gods, even if just for a moment.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
And then, horrible deaths.
Yeah.
And caused pain to
Harry
lots
Adams
of...
didn't die. He just forgot.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's a good... Yeah, he loses that power.
But in those moments, they got to be like gods. In Sphere, he could just manifest whatever he wanted. In Pandorum, he was like the ruling kind of crazy,
Chieftain.
whatever you want to call it, the monarch of this ship. Yeah, so he's got to be God.
I don't think I can top that.
Yeah.
That's
What's
pretty solid.
What's your winner?
Yeah.
That's it? All right. My loser was anyone who wants to be an astronaut.
Yeah, not a good future ahead.
Not a good future ahead of you. And if we do, then this is a future that...
Yeah.
These, you know what it is? Like I said earlier about Star Trek. Star Trek is about like what is positive about space travel.
Yeah.
These are the negatives.
This is what could go wrong.
This is what's going to go wrong.
I mean, space is a very inhospitable environment. I mean,
it sounds horrible.
Yeah,
It does not
the
want to go
smallest
into
thing
space.
that goes wrong can cause the biggest impact on
it's
your
terrible.
life. So.
Hey, you guys got any fuglies? Oh, what's
Those
your
are the
loser?
losers. Yeah, go ahead, Donnie.
My loser is Justice. Screw those assholes from Sphere. They should be dead.
Yeah, and the guys from Rotten Tomatoes now,
Justice
huh?
lost.
Yeah,
You guys
and
from
Rotten Tomatoes.
for giving Pandorum a low score.
Yet another example of calling into question the intelligence of the American voter.
No.
My loser is Starship Insurance Claim Adjusters.
Yep.
What a nightmare to sort out, right? They've got to figure out, what went wrong on all of these ships, and they might lose their mind in the process.
But we're just seeing like the few disasters. Like those premiums got to be high. So if there's other ships out there,
That's true.
I wouldn't worry too much about the.
So what do you think they did for Event
insurance
Horizon?
guys.
Darkness God takes over ship.
Oh, your policy doesn't cover that.
And then like on Pandorum, man declares himself God of the ship. Okay, that one.
But to get to that point, they've got to make calls. They've got to do investigations.
Yeah.
Like they're going to lose their mind at some point in the process.
Then Sphere, ship disappears for some reason. Ship disappeared into time.
Yeah, I'd just write the check and be done with
Yeah,
it. Here's your money.
I don't want
to touch that.
That is true. That's really good. That's funny. Fuglies? Any fuglies in this one?
Sharon Stone.
Ouch.
Jeez, dude. Pulling no punches.
Honestly, she was the least attractive thing about all these because I actually liked so much about these movies. Their endings kind of were wonky, but yeah, she was.
So
she was ugly.
vivisections and like accelerated mutants. Yeah.
Sharon
that's-
Stone.
Nope,
That's
it's
cool,
Sharon
but
Stone.
Sharon
Suicidal
Stone with no makeup.
So hard. That's so funny.
Black.
What's your fugly body going?
I didn't really have. Well, the I guess the hooks and the vivisection, the
Yeah.
Hellraiser-y stuff from Event Horizon.
I went similar to that. So like I was thinking things that were just like gross and horrible and hard to like be around. So like I was gonna go with Event Horizon, but instead of something I went with something equally horrible. It's the dialogue in Sphere. So
There wasn't
was
a lot
grotesque.
of. I don't remember any like spit, so nothing really turned me off.
ugh, spit's so gross. Why spit is so gross? Oh man. So before we wrap up, I want to read
What's that?
Radiate?
You wanna-
Yeah, radiate.
You want to spherate?
So before we wrap up, I want to repeat that we're still running our risk game giveaway contest.
Yes.
We've already declared one winner. That was Kenny. he super deserved it. So I want you to go to our website, which is mgtpodcast.com. Go to /FYE for your entertainment, but FYE, and see the rules for the week to see if you can win it as well. And also, if you're listening and you have a product or something that you want us to promo for you on air, or several items that you want to give away, please email us at moregooderthan@gmail.com. If you have something that you want us to promote, send it to us. We can play with it. We'll talk about it on air. Just like, or if you have an idea or someone that might have an idea for another giveaway, tell us. Or even if you do, email us and we'll put it out there.
If you know a local business here in town, give us the hookup. Connect us.
And then we'll shout you out. We'll shout them out. All that good stuff. But anyway, go to the website. Give us stuff. Yeah. Give us things. Send us things that we could toy with, like Gallo and his mutants.
It's good.
So that's going to do it for us in the MGT Recording Bunker. We'd really appreciate you rating, reviewing, and subscribing to the podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Just remember that that's one of the many ways that we can grow our forest of home trees. Please follow us on Twitter at MGT Podcast. Like us on Facebook at More Gooder Than. Email us at moregooderthan@gmail.com and visit our website, mgtpodcast.com, where you can support us via Patreon for some sweet, sweet rewards and buy some swag from our merch page. MGT logo designed by Mary Madewell. Home tree logo designed by Dan Nicholson. So I'm going to go to hypersleep. I'm a little sleepy for 900 years. So I'll see you then, home trees. From me, Chris Brayton, and Corey.
Later.
And Donnie.
See ya, space bitches.